Well, I'm back on the project. This is session 17. I believe today's Thanksgiving. So, and today, after 17 sessions, I finally managed to do all of the moves. Haven't even done the entire boulder yet, but I have managed to do all of the moves finally. And in this video, I'd like to explain why you don't quit on boulders. You don't quit on boulders because it's only too hard if you quit. When you go into something only looking for solutions and ways to succeed, instead of thinking about how the rock is completely stopping you, you start to think about how to overcome the difficult tasks in front of you. But once the idea of quitting enters your cranium, you just start to come up with reasons why you should quit, like it's too hard, I'm not ready, it's not a good boulder, whatever that means. But so long as you look at a boulder and tell yourself that one way or another you're going to make progress on it, it makes the boulder not too hard. Oh my God! You guys have no idea how long it took me to finally do that move. That right there is the single hardest move I've ever done in my entire climbing career. Not because it's physically the hardest, but technically and physically it was combined together. Congruency is very hard. It took me 17 sessions to finally hit that one move once. And now I've done all the moves on this boulder. I am making progress. Oh my God, it only took me 10,000 years to finally hit it once. Holy smokes, I'm gonna try to keep hitting it. Oh my God, I'm so adequate today. And I don't even feel that strong today. I actually feel pretty weak. You don't quit on boulders because you want to progress as a climber. I find that a main reason why a lot of climbers don't climb as hard as they can is simply because they quit too early on boulders. Let me tell you, I finally managed to do the last move on this boulder. Only took me 17 sessions. It is definitely the hardest climbing move I've ever done in my entire life. And the only way I was able to do it was if I had never quit. And funny enough, after I did it once, after 17 sessions, I was able to do it 5 more times in a row. So a move that shut me down for 16 sessions, once I was able to do it once, I can now do whenever I feel like it. And that is what I like to call becoming better through perseverance. You don't quit on boulders because it builds habits for bigger goals. I like to think that most people have a general lifetime goal of climbing V10. But if you hop on a V6 and after 30 minutes of climbing, you decide to quit on it and never come back to it, and if your goal is to climb V10 and you're giving up on mere V6 after 30 minutes, how can you possibly say something like you want to climb V10 someday? Your track record doesn't track, and at this point in time, you'll be lucky if you were able to climb V7 at some point in time, whenever that time is. I like to think that if you want to be a strong climber in the future, you have to start pretending and doing strong climber stuff today. Right? Because I think if you think you're a climber that has a disadvantage or you're weak, that you will find reasons to not improve. But if you're a climber who wants to improve, you'll find reasons to improve regardless of whatever disadvantages or weaknesses you have. You don't quit on boulders because you don't have to. Sometimes in life you have to stop doing things for X, Y, and Z, but when it comes to climbing a rock outside that's always there for you anytime, you don't ever really have to quit on it. You could take a breather, go do something else, and then come back. You could go into hibernation for training for 3 months in the wintertime and then come back, but there's never any due date on when you need to be able to complete the boulder. So there's no need to ever permanently shut that route of possible success from your life if there's no need to do it. You don't quit on boulders because you want to do it. The reason why most people climb is because they like climbing. The reason why most people climb a particular climb because they want to climb that particular climb. And when you started climbing said rock, I'm sure you climbed it or started it with the intentions of finishing it out on top. I'm positive you didn't start climbing the rock saying, okay, I'm gonna quit and fail halfway through and that's okay. No, I'm sure everyone starts to climb expecting to finish it ultimately. And therefore, I don't think the mindset of settling for half success is a good one to have or bear or to carry if that wasn't your original goal in the first place. And sure, while the boulder may be harder than you had expected, I don't think that's any particularly good reason for you to just settle on doing, say, half or 3/4 of it. If you want something, you should try to go for it the exact same way you want it. And in this example, is the entirety of the climb. You don't quit on boulders because it feels awesome once you top it. That's it. There's nothing beyond that. It's just a really nice, warm, awesome, sparkling sensation that you get after putting in lots of time and effort into a particular thing. And my current project is Humpty Hump. 17 sessions later, and I still haven't thought about quitting on it a single time. 17 sessions later, and I finally managed to do all the moves, finally. And for me, personally, I have 3 main reasons why I am still pursuing this endeavor of mine. Number 1, 100% success rate. When I decide to make a boulder my project, I have never ever failed to complete it. Therefore, my success rate is 100%. And I would like to keep it 100% because this gives me a really dumb, stupendously large amount of confidence. Because I know, according to my track record, that the second I designate a climb as my project, that I have a 100% success rate. Now, I may not know exactly how long it may take, nor how much effort is required, but I do know that as time progresses, I'll get closer and eventually I'll smash it out. But if I quit on this boulder and say, oh, forget it, I'm never coming back to it, that puts a dent in my success rate and therefore wavers my confidence a little bit. And I obviously don't want that to happen. 2, V15. I have a goal of climbing V15 one day, and if I quit on a measly V10, that's like me telling myself, this is it. You can't go any higher in your climbing progression. And now I can't quit because I want to go higher in my climbing progression. In a couple of years, I'm expecting V10 to be 1 session for me. And in order for that to happen, I do understand that V10 right now, currently at my level, is gonna take a lot of effort and more than 1 session. And I've come to terms with that, and I expected it. It was never supposed to be easy. And because I'm ready for this very arduous journey of mine, then I'm fully prepared for the consequences of effort. 3, it's a challenging boulder. A lot of people hate this boulder for one reason or another, but me, I never really care about aesthetics or lines or movement. When it comes to climbing, I mostly just care about a challenge that is suitable for my level, that will help me progress as a climber. For me, it's really more about the numbers than it is about the purity of it, I guess you could say. Like, I hate the idea of knowing I will 100% send a rock or a boulder when I climb it, because there's no excitement or no growth happening there. Therefore, my challenges have to be kind of like a maybe. And it just so happened that this time the challenge I chose was a very much more difficult task than I had expected it to be. But regardless, it's always a challenge until one day, hopefully it won't be. Anyways, that's why you don't quit on boulders. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, partner.